Fate makers, bunker masters, and fans of mushroom booty all around the globe, this is the Wondercast.
We've waited extremely patiently and have finally been rewarded as Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is here. It's launch day, and we couldn't be more excited. Not possible.
No, not even remotely, which is why we have a brand new launch trailer for all of the hype. Plenty of spoiler-free discussion to come very soon, as it is launch day and we don't want to, give everything away. And of course, Jesslyn Cupcake is here and will join us at the bottom of the hour to talk a lot more about cosplay.
Quag, K6, damn it, rejoice, for we once again will be having on your favorite human alive, Matt Cox, as well. He's joining the program once more, as now, finally, Matt can talk about all those Wonderlands details we've been trying to get out of him for so long.
Launch day is always a busy day, but first as always, we would like to take a minute to thank all of our new listeners, which is pretty much all of you still, on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and those watching live right now on Twitch, YouTube, or later on the VOD on YouTube. And if you are enjoying the program, we would love for you to give us a big old like, follow, or favorite in honor of launch day. I'm going to say launch day a lot over the course of this program.
Yep.
Yes.
Tina's game is officially live, and to commemorate the occasion, Tina has given us one more amazing trailer. So without further ado, I'm going to play it.
Dragon Adventure, baby! Come get it! You see the walls of the mighty Bright Hoof. And a massive skeleton army! Catapults are assaulting the city! The sky is filled with arrows! And boulders! And bones! Evil is all around you!
Come on, let's kill these idiots!
Behold the horrid visage of the Banshee! Welcome to my Wonderland! And the dragon's like, wah! And you're all like, ah!
Man, that trailer is incredible. That scary laughter, though, I totally thought that was here for a second.
I genuinely cannot believe they managed to get one more trailer in right under the wire to
know.
spoil us with all the goodness that is Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
And it's such a good trailer, too. I mean, they all have been amazing. Every little tidbit of awesomeness has been amazing to see and watch and listen to. And speaking of listening and watching and also enjoying the game, we've gotten to play the game and it's been amazing. The music and the environments and the characters and the gunplay and the crossbows and the magic and Butt Stallion. I mean, right?
You set yourself up for it, you ham. You're such a ham.
I mean, they sent us these incredible hoodies, right? Actually, I wish I had the thing here. I should have brought it. I'll bring it next time. It's in the other room being kept safe for my kitty. But we had these amazing like spell books of awesome with our names on them delivered to us from Gearbox and 2K. Huge thank you to Gearbox and 2K for that. And they had these hoodies and they had this beautiful scroll with artwork and what was the other thing? Oh God. Oh, I can show you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's worth showing to everybody. 100%. I believe that's the Mighty Jack statue, right? Yes.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. It's so well done. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I can have it here on my desk while Kitty is asleep. Usually it sits up there because it's safer. But I can have her here in spirit as I play. Mitsu, so what's been your favorite thing so far?
Oh boy. Okay. So let's do full disclosure here because it's the most important thing. We have a lot of new people watching. So before anything else, also thank you to everybody who's watching the Wondercast for the first time. It means a lot for all of you who are joining the show today. Second of all, I did not play my review copy. Let's get this out there right now. I have not touched the review copy at all. So there were a lot of people who came up to me at certain aspects, especially during the launch party, who are like, "Hey, how much you know?" I know nothing. So this and that took everything to be able to like go as spoiler free as I have, which is good because this game, they gave us really nothing in terms of story. So right from the start, I was kind of like lost in this new Wonderlands world, walking around. And one of the first people that I encountered in this wondrous Wonderlands world was Paladin Mike, who had a very familiar voice, which made me giggle immensely because my first thought was, okay, how are they going to explain how Lorelei wound up in the game? And it was such a beautiful explanation for how Tina 7 years prior knows Lorelei before they realize they know each other and the impact that they will have on their lives, which is hilarious to me. And I hope, and remember, I've only played probably about, I want to say, 2.5, 4 hours. It really depends because I take my time. So like you, Tess, I stop, I smell the roses, I look at the trash pile, I admire the beauty of the trash pile, I move on to the next trash pile and hope it has legendary. Like everything about that, it took me, I wanted to experience it beat for beat for beat. And I wanted to take in that overworld, which is why I'm glad we have Matt here later, because talking about the overworld with him is going to be a lot of fun. In the small amounts of the overworld that I've experienced so far. And we'll get to that. But I'm gushing. I'm going to shut up now for 5 seconds.
God.
Tess,
if you
your
let
first
me.
reactions, please. Go.
If
It's
you
your
let
floor.
me. Oh my goodness. So I, like you, not exactly because I did play some, but I'm so used to playing games with the community that it's really hard for me, honestly, to play by myself, like in a vacuum. And even when I play with friends, like just online co-op or something like that, it does, I don't know, I miss the stream, I miss the community, and it's hard. And also I really wanted my first streams of this incredible game to be, to just be that first experience. I wanted to share that with you guys. So I avoided a lot. I did get to experience the character creation and the demo that we played, that we were provided with, both prior to Tiny Tina's of the World and during Tiny Tina's of the World. I got to do the character creation, which was so cool. So I basically saw the beautiful town, and I got to play around with the characters a little bit. But I didn't see a ton. And then we got the review copy, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to go in and I'm going to make sure it works. And I got to the tutorial area, and that was where I stopped because, first of all, I ran around the tutorial area like a crazy person for a really long time, just like looking at everything. And I think I don't even know how much space is being taken up on my hard drive by screenshots now, because so much of this environment is so gorgeous. Like all of it is gorgeous. It's different. You guys did something different. and I love it. It really feels more fantasy and like a whole different universe. And, since playing yesterday, obviously I've seen the overworld, and it is all of the videos you guys have seen. If you haven't, gotten your hands on the game yet, or you haven't gotten to the overworld yet, you started playing, but you're not quite there yet. Just wait, because the videos don't do it justice. The experience of being in the overworld and just running through it, and all of the way the colors pop and the giant cheese puff, and it made my heart and my eyeballs very, very, very happy. And everything so far, the music has been amazing. The music is, I thought that nothing could beat Borderlands 3 music because I listen to it all the time when I'm like running or driving, or all the time doing dishes. Like I literally listen to it all the time. But it might have to be replaced, at least for a little while, or maybe for a long
Replaced or
time.
added to? You
Added
you
to.
never have to take away from. You can always add
That's
to
true.
and then just hit random.
That's
You never know what you get.
That's true. But yeah, it's just been amazing. Like joy for my eyes and my ears and my soul. And of course, the gunplay is amazing. All of the feel of the game is amazing. But I think for me, the thing that shines the most so far, because I'm not that far into it, because I am extremely slow and just, looking around a lot, is the environments. They're really different.
Yeah.
Your characters.
Significantly.
Yeah, like the characters are absolutely, not the same, obviously, but they're the same art style. Like they feel like the same art style, but with fantasy outfits and armor and really cool stuff like that. And then the skellies and that stuff is familiar and beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But the environments are like beyond because they're different and they still have that little bit of an inked style to them, but it's not like Borderlands. They're much more like natural and much more fantasy-esque. And I love it. I love it so much. It's such a cool experience. That has blown me away so far. So I'm just excited to play more.
So we talked to Asia yesterday, one of the lead weapons artists on Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and she mentioned a particular weapon which she got very excited for. It's a shotgun that has crystals in it, and you sprinkle pixie dust on top of it in order to reload this gun.
Yes.
So me, of course, I was giggling to myself, well, when will I ever find this gun? 45 minutes into the game, I found it.
I think I found one of those even sooner, and I've actually found several.
And it has, I think it has a name, so maybe it was supposed to drop off of the first boss. I don't know. I think it was a green one. I think it's like Parable or something like that, or I don't recall. But it was a frost shotgun, and oh boy, that was a lot of fun. And then there was an SMG, of course, Tess. I think it had like a septagonal pattern to it, and then one bullet in the middle. So I think 8 shots for the spread.
Oh,
and
man.
towards the end, it kind of waves and curves up, and it's frost too. So I'm just putting in all this, and of course I'm Clawbringer. So I'm putting in all this work. I freeze somebody, and then out comes the hammer, spin around, down, boom, smash it to pieces like this is T2 Judgment Day. It's so much fun. It's so good. I'm blown away, and like I said, I'm probably somewhere between 2.5 to 4 hours in. And I've barely scratched the surface. I think I just gained the ability to. Okay, I'll break it down real quick again. I was disappointed at first as Clawbringer because I wanted to have the ability to throw and catch the hammer as soon as possible, but they made me wait until level 7 because of course they did. And you know what? I've reached level 7 now, and I'm not so sure I want to switch anymore. Because as much as I love throwing and retrieving the hammer, I have gotten used to now relying on turning around and doing the ground slam with the fire damage. And between the cryo and then the fire damage, it's just too much fun. And I swear to God, it's not a work. That's really where I'm at in the game right now. And that's my fun loop. And it makes me giggle every time. It's so much fun. So much fun.
So, okay, were you planning on going with Clawbringer from the beginning, or did you change your mind?
Yes.
Or you were? Okay.
100%.
Okay.
The only thing that I'm a little surprised about, and I think I have ways to compensate for this, is I didn't realize Clawbringer wouldn't have frost to it. But that's because I was probably combining it in my head with Berserker.
Yeah.
So maybe we go Clawzerker or Burbringer. Burbringer.
Yes,
I like Burbringer. Can we do
Burbringer. I like that. That's
Burbringer.
adorable. I originally couldn't decide, and then I was pretty much set on Stabomancer because that's what I made when I made my character creation YouTube video. And
Yes,
so
you did.
yeah, and I finally back on YouTube. So it was really fun to make that video. It was interesting to edit it because I knew it would take me a really long time. The actual character creation process took me an hour and a half. I'm slow, but also there's so much you can do and it's amazing. And I edited down to like a little over 30 minutes and I couldn't squeeze it anymore, but it
How
was so
good?
cool.
How hard did you laugh the first time you saw the Dwarven face? because it's so on point. It looks like Olmec. Like it's just stern. It is a Dwarven face. That dude looks like he's been through the ringer. It's so good. I think I laughed for a good 5 minutes at that face. It's perfect. It is
Yes.
perfection.
Also, I recommend you don't have to use the thing that this gives you, but I recommend at least trying the overdrive slider. Just turn it on.
Really?
Just turn it on and see what you can do. That's all I'm gonna say.
Fair enough. I'll leave that one to the imagination.
Yeah. Well, when I started my stream yesterday, I was fully ready to play that character. But my chat was like, you can't deprive us of character creation. We know you put it on YouTube. We will go watch it, but like, we want you to do it again here. And I was like, well, okay, I am, I will acquiesce to my overlords, right? And so I very happily started making another character. And I was like, well, I can't, make a character and then make it the same, like the exact same class. So I went with Spore Warden because mushroom butts, right? And I wasn't expecting to completely fall in love with this character. I was going to make it and then probably go back to Stabomancer and then play Spore Warden later. But I started the game with this character. And immediately, as soon as I could use my abilities, I realized that I could shoot multiple arrows. And I just started loving the way it felt. And then I started using magic and all of the different magic spells that I picked up, every single one of them. I was like, what is this? It's so cool. There was one that shot these like beautiful sparkly blue jets out and basically they were like missiles seeking the enemy, but magical missiles. So cool. And then there was another one that was like a crazy blob of doom that would just spawn and explode everything. It's so satisfying to be able to use these things. It was so cool. So now I am Spore Warden girl because also mushroom butt. You get a mushroom butt companion. I mean, there's nothing in the world better than that. Okay, there's nothing except
one thing I did not expect, by the way, is personalities. So I wanted to ask you real quick because I know we're running short towards the next segment here. What personality type you actually picked?
You mean like the backstory?
Well, yeah, for your character. And this is going to be unsurprising to everybody. I'm just going to say it. I am the village idiot.
I like it. I like it. I think I went with Rogue Alchemist for the first character I made. And the second character I think was the same. Maybe? I actually don't remember. It's a blur of Happy from yesterday. Yeah. So
and the descriptions on them too. Make sure that
yes.
And this is for every class too, and the backstory, if you will. Read everything.
Yes.
That humor style that you have come to know and love out of Gearbox, it's still there. Everywhere. I promise you.
It's everywhere in this game, and it's great.
Everywhere.
I started reading those when I was making that YouTube video, and I started reading it to myself, and I was like, okay, I have to read this out loud for people. So I actually read every description out loud in my video, and like trying so hard not to die laughing. They're amazing. It's all amazing. Speaking of really amazing things, though, we have a really special guest to bring to you guys today. Jessalyn Cupcake, cosplayer extraordinaire, is joining us. So are you guys ready for her? She's awesome. Here she comes. Hi, Jessalyn. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm okay.
Hi.
I'm having a great time. I'm so excited for launch day.
Very cool.
How's your launch day been?
Well, I'm not home to play, sadly, but it's been amazing. I'm actually here at 2K right now.
That's so cool. It's got to be such a trip. Beautiful place. I visited one time. Actually, no, that's not true. I visited two times. Yeah.
I'm the only person who's never visited 2K and Gearbox that I know. I'm the biggest loser.
No, you're not. I've never been to Gearbox, and I really, really want to go. So next time we can.
We'll go together.
Go. Yes.
Yes, and then we'll go to Nirvana, and then we'll have delicious food. Because what is it? Jessalyn, you've been to Nerdvana, right?
I love Nerdvana. I think I went 4 times this month because I went to Texas twice, and almost all my meals were there. It's delicious.
That's so cool. Oh my god. Okay, someday
I am very
we're all
envious.
meeting up. again.
Yes.
So thank you so much again for joining us. Seriously, you're basically Tiny Tina come to life, and it's so incredible. Like, it's an honor. Couple of questions for you. How did you first get involved with cosplay? Like, how did you enter this whole incredible world?
Oh gosh, it was like 7 years ago. And I was working one day and my husband went to this anime convention called Anime Next. And when he got home, I was like, you went without me? That sounds so cool. So like I put on like a Sailor Moon t-shirt and a blue skirt. And when we got there, I was like shocked. Everyone in costume, and like there's nobody dresses in like normal clothes there. Everybody has a full outfit. And I was like, wow, this is like, I want to try to do this. And then like later on, I think the first full cosplay that I ever made myself was actually Mad Moxie from Borderlands 1.
That's cool.
So that started a whole nother journey.
That's led you to here.
Yes.
Just one tiny question. Did you know how to sew before you got into it, and how to do like any of the cosplay stuff that you have to do?
A little bit. Like I always played around when I was younger. And I'm a seamstress now as my day job.
Wow.
So
That's awesome.
cosplay is like really good if you're trying to learn one of these skills. It's all like just trial and error. Just go for it.
That's
I'm just
incredible.
I'm trying to put ahead, like in my head, a list. Wow, my words are all backwards today because it's lunch day. My adrenaline's pumping. You have all of these different skills, right? So you know how to sew,
Yes.
and you know how to, like adhere, like you need to glue things together. But what do you think are some skills that you don't think people typically realize a cosplayer needs to be able to assemble their own cosplay?
Gosh, there's so many, because there's also different type of cosplayers. Like some only do like seamstry,
Yeah.
and some only do foam work and stuff. So, I mean, you don't technically even have to have these skills to be a cosplayer. You can just, cosplay is just the action of dressing up as the characters that you love.
Exactly.
So you can buy a costume and wear it and still cosplay and have fun. And that's like what's important. The only reason like I picked up all these skills is I have to constantly be doing something with my hands. So I just like to build stuff.
Well, you're seriously amazing at it. I mean, I keep saying this, but it really feels like Tiny Tina has stepped out of the video game and is in the real world, hanging out and chatting with us. It's so cool. And it really it's so like heartwarming to hear somebody of your incredible talent say that, it's okay to buy a costume. It's okay to like buy some things and do like a closet cosplay kind of thing, because I've done a couple for stream and I'm planning on doing one for Tina, and I am nowhere near like nothing at all like any of these incredible, skilled, amazing, beautiful cosplayers that were at the launch party and that, like you here with us today. But I just enjoy dressing up like my favorite characters. So for stream and for fun, little baby cosplay. Just start, right? Like you said. So why not? These characters are so amazing and we love them so much. And getting to sort of dress up like them or, see people embody them in the real world. It's amazing. It really is.
And so to that end, we had a chance to briefly talk about this at the launch party, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about it. You talked about it, and it's a brilliant point. Cosplaying is not just about the actual act of building a cosplay. It's about putting on that outfit and embodying that character. So to that end, as Tina, how do you get in that headspace to channel the pure chaos that is Tina when you're in character?
So I'm kind of like Tina. Like Tina's more close to my personality than any of the other characters that I cosplay from Borderlands. She's just like really bubbly and really loud. And I've noticed something about Tina. She's really bouncy. She's like always moving. And I actually competed at New York Comic Con last year, and people were like, your performance was amazing. I was like, I don't even know what I did. I just kind of went on stage and jumped around like crazy.
That's so Tina. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, she's
That's
really
perfect.
bouncy.
She is. Oh my God. It was literally like, I don't even know what the feeling is. Like, I thought that you were her for a second just there. That's so cool. God, that's really true. And it's interesting because I never really thought about it, the bounciness, but it's absolutely a Tina thing. That's
Yeah,
so cool.
yeah.
So cool. So, speaking of the launch party and events like that, you had a huge hammer at the Gearbox party. What was up with that? It was amazing looking.
I have that hammer right now.
Oh.
I brought it to California with me.
so cool.
We're gonna see if it fits in this frame right now. It is a big boy.
We did not rehearse this, so oh boy, I hope this works.
Oh my God.
Oh,
That
wow.
is incredible.
There it is.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And it lights up too, right?
It should, but it's been on a few trips this month, so sometimes I might not have actually plugged it in
Gotcha.
before I got here.
No worries.
I don't think I put the battery in it.
I gotcha.
But yeah,
That
this
is
thing is
incredible. It's incredible.
So that's actually why I asked that question earlier. I was partially thinking of the hammer. One of the skills that I don't think people, or it doesn't jump to mind when you think of a cosplayer. You think of a seamstress. You don't think of somebody who does electrical wiring and soldering. And you did all of that for that hammer, correct?
Yes, that's a new venture that I'm taking, and I'm not great at it. I have a friend that's helping me with a lot of it. It's not easy, and there's not a lot of information on the internet that's very good to explain how to do it. I think the first thing that I did the lights before I even built it, and nobody explains that there's a way that LED strips run. So they can all only run one way. So when they didn't work, I was like, what happened? And then realized there's teeny tiny arrows on it. I'm like, do I have to turn these around? Is that the answer? Because no one told me this and I had no clue.
Oh God. Every single time I build a keyboard, because I build keyboards sometimes, and you have to solder, and you sometimes get to work with LEDs. I have to read through. There's usually like a build guide. I have to read through the build guide multiple times to make sure that I understand everything before I even get started, because I have absolutely done that both with LEDs and with switches and with all kinds of stuff. This stuff
it's not
is hard.
easy.
Yeah, and especially when you're coming up with something that's unique, like at least at least to my level of keyboard builder, I'm not a keyboard designer, but I've built like my keyboard that I play games with, right? This thing, I built that. And it's pretty unique, but somebody designed this, and so they put out a build guide. There's a guide out there, right? For what you do, there is a cool cosplay guide from Gearbox, but that just gives you
Yes.
the visuals, right, of what you're doing. It doesn't tell you stuff like how to solder LEDs.
Yeah.
And that is incredible that you're able to sort of pick that up and learn and make something so creative and beautiful out of it. That's really cool.
It is beyond my level. I'll put it that way. You are incredible, and you are talented, and we thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. And we hope that you'll join us for our next segment if you have the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool, because we're going to bring on everybody's favorite, the man of the hour, the myth, the legend. You know what? I'm not going to shower him with any more compliments because I feel like he's going to blush and then it's going to ruin the shot. Matt Cox is here, everybody. It's
Without
good to see you
further
again, Matt.
ado.
Thank you. Thank you for being
Hello.
here.
Hello. That was quite the introduction. Very, very kind.
I had to do it on behalf of the entire content creation community, who I know is expressing their full love and adoration for you right now in their own ways as they play and do their things, because let me tell you, game's fun. Game's super fun.
Thank you. It has been an amazing week of catharsis, just being able to see how well it was received, on Wednesday with all the reviews and the reactions, and then up till today, like it's very hard to concentrate on hardly anything else, but just like trying to just capture the hopeful joy people have playing through the game. And I'm so satisfied to just see how much joy out there there is for Wonderlands.
Oh yeah, it's real. I mean, and then we'd be remiss if we didn't say congratulations as well on such a successful launch.
Yes.
We have Game Informer with a 95, PC Games a 90, Hardcore Gamer a 90, Gamer Sky a 91, and there's more reviews to come. Like, these are very, very high marks and very high praise for the game.
Oh my gosh, we're overwhelmed. Like, reading all sorts of reviews and seeing the things that we wanted to do differently and making Wonderlands its own unique, standalone, and different. Like a lot of the things that we've worked so hard on through so many challenges, really hitting with people is incredibly rewarding. And I'm pretty sure I speak for the entire team in saying that as well.
Yeah, it's really different. Like it has the same feel, the same humor, the same amazing characters, but new ones, the same style. But it really is its own thing, and all of the things that you guys did differently are so awesome. Like just as a gamer, as a player, thank you for taking those chances, because I know it must be scary to sometimes as anybody that has done anything creative ever. It's scary to take risks.
It is. There was an element of risk of the brand new features that we have never really done before, and one that nobody's ever really done before in an overworld in random encounters in a first-person shooter, right? So yeah, we took risks, and we're very satisfied to see the reception of all the things that we've worked tirelessly on.
Which, let's just talk about those randoms and encounters real quick, because it's not something we discussed it before. And you dropped little teasers of what conceptually it was. Uh-huh. And then we had the first interaction, because I imagine it's part of the story. You have to have at least one. Mm-hmm. And I was confused and shocked and blown away, because it's really this little arena that you are transported to, mm-hmm. where you fight a bunch of baddies and you kill them and you get something at the end. And to that end, that submachine gun I told you about earlier, Tess, and a giant double-sided axe that I have, which I am currently still using, both of those came from the random encounters. So if you're concerned that it might or might not be worth doing them, and it's just like a superfluous addition to the game, it is not. It is worth doing random encounters, because you will get things that you'll actually use.
Yeah, you'll get a reward die at the end of each random encounter if you choose to go into them. And basically, the best way to think about it is it's a white chest or better a little mini event, because that reward die at the end of an encounter will give you some good stuff. It has a good chance to roll some good stuff.
Yeah, it is 100% worth playing.
One thing I will say, honestly, I wouldn't even call them arenas, though, because they're complex maps. They're more complex than I was expecting by far. I was expecting kind of the traditional, like, sort of flat space. You know how in older games when you had an overworld, kind of that kind of thing, when you walk around and then you zoom into basically just a static space, and then you're just standing there and your enemy's just standing there and you're like shooting stuff at each other. So I kind of had that in my head, and the first time I actually had an encounter in the overworld, I was blown away, because it's a whole multi-tiered map. Like there's places where you have to go up higher or lower, and there's puzzles, like there's traps and things. I sort of was lit on fire by one at one point. And I was like, what is burning me? Oh, there's literally a jet coming out. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing because it's interesting every time. And there's a whole bunch of different ones. It's really fun because it's random. And sometimes you see an enemy kind of in the distance on the overworld and you can run up to it. So honestly, it blew me away because it was so much better than I even expected.
That's awesome. Glad you guys are having fun with it.
Yeah.
It blew away any expectations, and I like the fact that you can even just walk up and just bop chests and just punch them right open. That came as a nice little surprise too. Absolutely. So it's the game. Wonderlands has been publicly playable probably for what, somewhere within the realm of about 18 to 24 hours now. And I imagine you've been just like taking a step back, taking it in. You know, what is some of the reactions that you've seen both on the player and the developer side to the launch so far?
On the developer side, I mean, at Gearbox, we've been sharing stuff on chat, like back and forth anytime, like somebody's watching a stream and they clip something. It's like, oh my gosh, look at this person's reaction. And so there's a lot of that going on all day yesterday. And obviously even today, because now it's just open to everybody at this point. So yeah, I think for me, it's just, I mean, we create video games to create joy and happiness for everyone and for everybody that plays games. And so this is one of our favorite parts of actually getting to see live, especially like those first reactions. I mean, there are moments, we're not going to talk spoilers here. There are moments in the game that I'm very interested to just watch people's reactions. Like, I hope they actually show themselves playing through specific parts. And so during one of these specific parts yesterday, I think I was watching Githalion and Triple G and a couple other guys just experiencing a moment. I'm not going to say what it was. And I could have, if you didn't know who these guys were, you think that they were kids at a birthday party that just opened up. It's like the Nintendo 64 kid meme. Like, they were so giddy and laughing so hard at this moment. And it was probably one of my favorite moments of yesterday. And I mean, a lot of people were passing that clip around and round. And I know. And so, but just people just trying to be good at the game. I think I saw Moxie was trying to do a one life run and fell off into the water. And so it's all sorts of joy all over the spectrum yesterday watching everybody play.
Which you mentioned one life runs. Are you a fan of like some of the more user imposed kind of content that we create? Because we have one life, right? And we have, you know, affiliation runs, and we have hide and seek. Like, have you partaken or watched any of those?
Yeah, a little bit. And I actually appreciate it. Like, I love our community, and I think we have the design that we intend, and then we have the things that the community does with that, and things that we don't necessarily intend. So, you know, allegiance runs and, you know, one life runs, those are all amazing. Like shotgun runs, like seeing who can, you know, like the fastest time, all those sort of things. So I am, over the course of the next several months, like very interested to see what, not only like the same types of things that happen in Wonderlands, but also maybe there's new types of runs that people try to do, like spell only or like quickest to find all dice or something. But yeah, who knows? I'm excited to see how the community responds to, especially all the new stuff that we've done.
Spell only? You're just going to take Meteor the whole time? Like, how would you pull that off? Oh boy.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying you have to do that, but I mean, I'd watch that.
I'd watch that. I would watch that. I would watch that.
You've just given me so many ideas.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
I love that stuff
for the future. I like challenge runs. I love playing through like the first time and experiencing the story and stuff like that. But then, especially for those of us that play the game a lot, adding these additional challenges is amazing. And there's so many different kinds out there. And I think viewers really enjoy sort of cheering us on or cheering for us to die, whichever. And it's a blast to do. So I did.
Awesome.
You seem very happy about that. So, you know, I'm sure, Tess, you can speak to this. The character creator, how much fun did you have with that?
Oh my God.
You know, I wonder, Matt, how important was it for Wonderlands to incorporate that character creator this time around?
It's fundamental. I mean, not only, you know, in tabletop RPG, do you have an expectation to actually create your own character? But obviously, that was one of the major features that was completely different from anything that we've done before. We give you 4 preset characters in a Borderlands game, and in Wonderlands, you get to do everything you want. I mean, down to the voice print, and then, you know, if you turn, you know, safety sliders off or whatever it was, you can like really go chipmunk, or you can really, I mean, down to the voice and the personalities and the pronouns, and then your class different from your looks, and like turning symmetry off of your eyes and your ears just to create whatever you want. Like, I think expression from the very get-go, expression was a giant design goal for us. So having a character creator, even though it's not something that we have tackled before at Gearbox, was fundamental and very critical for us to figure out. And I think one of the things that I don't think we expected is, we watched a bunch of videos, and I'm still watching videos of people just spending so much time in the character creator, and like I'm seeing prints of characters. I'm like, what? So I mean, you can really dig in. Like there are looks that even surprised me, particularly at the beginning. And then of course, it was so important to us. And those of you who've played a few hours into the game, we drop customizations a lot. So the first time you get back to Brighthoof, sorry, I'm just like live making sure I'm not giving away spoilers. These aren't spoilers. And you get to the quick change the first time, you're going to have a whole bevy of brand new customizations to then, figure out what to do. And then including, your emotes, your banner, your hero statues. Those are things that we have, talked about before that you can also customize. So creation of your character was paramount. Like that was a pillar that we were not going to waver on.
Absolutely.
I have a question for Jesselyn, actually. I know you haven't gotten a chance to play yet, but how excited are you to get your hands on that character creator once you can?
So I have played. I played about maybe 3 hours, but since I've been traveling, I haven't had much time. But my character is so yellow, and like my whole community knows I'm obsessed with yellow. But everything from my makeup, my hair, my outfit, like yellow, it's beautiful. I had so much fun making my character, and like I could have done it for hours. I like had to stop myself and take a step back.
Yeah,
your character a submarine?
They're so funny.
I don't know why anybody would even laugh at that. That was a terrible joke.
Oh God!
I apologize profusely for making it.
I seriously had to stop myself also because I was recording for that video, and I realized how the time was going up and going up and going up, and I was like, "This is bad. I need to stop. I'm gonna have the opportunity to make more characters. Get a hold of yourself, Tess."
I was looking forward to like actually making my own for the very first time, like this morning, as far as like the shipping, my very first like shipped character. So I'm sitting down this morning, booting up, starting to play, and my 8-year-old, whose name is Lorelei, yes, that's why. So Lorelei comes in and she's looking at it. She's like, no, do that. No, do that. No, do that. And so I ended up with a character. It's not even mine. It's my 8-year-old's first character. So I posted something early this morning and like, well, I guess this is Lorelei's character, but that's fine.
That's so cool.
Lorelei, my child, by the way. Yeah.
You know what I almost wish? I wish there was like a service by which there was some sort of partnership that Gearbox had where you could take your finished character and have it made into like a statue or something like that.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
That'd be
like
cool.
a 3D printing service.
Yeah.
Like something like that.
That would be cool.
Yes.
Very, very cool.
Somebody
make
make it real.
Sometimes we just speculate and talk about all the cool stuff that could be one day, hopefully.
Seriously, that would be amazing. Speaking of really amazing things again, there are 3 difficulty settings in this game. That was a huge surprise and very welcome. Intensely rewarding, or intense being the difficulty that rewards players for overcoming really, really challenging gameplay, and then an easier difficulty for anybody with accessibility issues. As somebody that has gone through accessibility issues through the keyboard that I built in order to basically use one hand to play, it's amazing to have that. Like Gearbox has always been really awesome about accessibility, and it's super appreciated. Was that part of what you guys were thinking with this? Like, why did you decide on these 3 difficulties?
100%. I think personally, my thinking of just the traditional easy normal, hard. Like, I don't even like the language. So there was a point in the project where, everybody plays games for their experience that they want tailored to them. And so there's no right or wrong way to play. And so that's why we decided to go with descriptors of relaxed, balanced, and intense. And so we fully recognize we have people who love just like the end game grind and the harder and harder and harder. And that's how they love to play. And so we wanted to create that intense thing right off the gate. It's not something that you have to earn later. It's just go ahead and just start there. So we know we have an audience that will want to just play there. Then balance is more or less like, this is kind of the give and take that we expect for how we design the game. But then we know we have millions of fans that love to just play and relax and have fun while they work their way at their own pace through the story. So relax. And so all of those are more accurate descriptors of an experience that we intend, rather than like entering into a discussion of like easy, medium, and hard, or easy and normal and hard and whatever there is. There's no normal. Like, that's the thing. Like, get rid of that language. Like, just describe the experience that you want to have.
Thank you so much for doing that. It really means the world to people that like all the breadths of experiences that we can have in the Wonderlands.
Awesome.
Yeah. And you're still rewarding people for taking on that challenging content, but it's not so overwhelmingly rewarding that somebody who might not want to doesn't feel so disenfranchised by having not taken under it instead.
For sure.
Yeah, it's a great way to look at it. I've noticed several content creators, including Triple G, talk about luck, this mechanical luck that's in the game. And they say it's extremely important to increase it via these lucky dice that are scattered throughout the game. So first question on this front, it's not something we really got to talk about much beforehand. What exactly is luck in terms of a gameplay mechanic, and why is it so important?
So luck is what you gather to make your chances at getting better gear better, or higher rarity gear better, right? It was a system that was sort of built into what we have done before, but we wanted to give the player agency over it. But we have to go a step back to explain why it's important, because we heard the community loud and clear, and a lot of us believe that legendaries should be special. Legendaries should feel like you're opening that awesome birthday present. And so if legendaries are just scattered everywhere, then there's going to be this desire, well, give me a sixth rarity, because really a lot of what's behind wanting another rarity is that the top rarity doesn't feel rare enough. So we wanted to dial back how much legendaries drop, particularly at the beginning. But we also wanted to give new opportunity for people to collect more and more luck, so that we put agency, especially towards the second half of the game, how much better your chances at, purples or oranges are. So through collecting those lucky dice, some of them are kind of on the plot path, and some of them you have to go collect. Every time you collect a lucky die, your loot luck will go up. When amulets start dropping, you'll see some amulets have loot luck bonuses. There's a shrine in the second half of the game. If you do 4 of those dungeons, that'll give you a 25% loot luck bonus. It is by far one of the best things to do, because as far as how much time investment, and then once you get to end game, each chaos level gives you even a higher luck value. And then if you get to level 40 myth rank, there you can really spend your myth rank points into loot luck on certain areas. And then the final thing, which is the hardest thing to do, which we realized the normal folks aren't going to do, but the completionists will collect every single lucky dice in the game, and that gives a 35% luck bonus.
Wow.
So all to say, there are many ways just on the common path that you can increase your luck value. And one of the things that we want to do is just the average player, and we're going to be looking at this in the next coming months to see how everybody engages with the luck system in general. We want, by the second half of the game, that people really start seeing better rarity gear, and even more so if they've decided to invest in luck.
Holy moly, that's a lot. Wow, I did not actually expect that much of a nuanced answer when I figured it just had one thing specifically to do, which is just affecting the rarity, of course, of guns. But I didn't realize there were so many layers by which you could actually obtain it. Is that just a personal question? Is that additive or multiplicative in terms of the percentages and how they stack with each other?
So it is a curve. There is some calculus going on and how we control it, but also I think the best thing for everybody to know is like when you find something that affects your luck and you want better rarity gear, just collect it. But the most fundamental thing,
yes,
one of the main things that does affect luck as well is just your player level. So it's not like you start at 0 luck. So just by the nature of playing the game, leveling up to 10 to 15 to 20 and above, right? You're still gaining luck. So all of this other stuff is in addition to the base luck that you already have by merely just playing the game.
That is such an awesome and thoughtful way to do it, because I remember with Borderlands 3, there were people that like wanted fewer and people that wanted more. There's definitely, and it's so hard to make everybody happy, and you guys are still trying, and that's so amazing.
Yes.
Really
and
cool.
so that's exactly it. Like, and again, we'll be looking at it and seeing how people engage with luck. But for the people who do want more, like they maybe used to before, like just go do all the luck things. But I don't think it will be as showering as it was in a previous game. But I mean, we do want to give people agency over the luck and the chance at better rarities.
Very cool.
Cool.
So on a slightly different tack, Tina as a dungeon master or bunker master, she's quite a character in general, but as a bunker master, she's amazing. She's very generous with helping us out and very, very, very awesome at doing all kinds of crazy things. Did you guys have sort of thoughts about her as a DM? Like, how did you plan that?
Well, it's fun to plan for the chaotic mind of Tiny Tina, right? So she knows the story, the general story she wants to tell, but maybe she forgot a few things, forgot to put a few things on the board, and so she forgot to put a bridge. It's like, oh, yep. Or just like, hey, there's a cheese curl on the board, and she's like, oh, that was totally intentional, and so. Especially at the first half of the game, there's a lot of ways she's like trying to get her feet as a bunker master. And so you see a lot of those things. And then, I mean, again, I'm not going to spoil a thing, but towards the second half of the game, how that manifests in the game starts to be a little different. But I think one of the biggest pillars for this game was making sure that people understood this is Tina's board. This is Tina's campaign, and she has direct influence over what happens.
She's very generous. Yeah, she like early on, she's very, very helpful. So I am curious to see how things shift as the game goes on. But that is spoilery and for another day. We are very pressed for time, but I did want to squeeze in one more question real quick, Matt, just because I'm curious too. We heard you were at the GameStop signing the other day. How'd that go?
Oh, it was great. Like I said previously, like one of the biggest reasons that we do this is to see joy and happiness for others. So just like we were seeing a bunch of streams with people reacting to certain moments and playing the game, just to see in person fans of Gearbox and just the excitement that Tiny Tina is getting her own game is just a really fulfilling experience. And the team that was there. We just had a great time. I mean, it was the same thing at the party as well. Like there was just this very positive, very forwardly positive energy about this game, and I tell you, it was it's a wonderful thing to experience.
It's a wonderful thing to be a part of. Thank you guys so much for making this incredible, beautiful game. Seriously, we're just having so much fun with it. I'm so excited to get back into it later. Thank you so much, Jessalyn, for embodying Tina in the most amazing way. and for joining us, both of you guys, on the show. And Mitsu, of course, my awesome co-host. Thank you for being you always. You're a boss. And thank you to all of our viewers. There are a lot of you there today. Thank you so much. Seriously. Thank you for our listeners. Thank you to everybody at Gearbox, everybody at 2K. We know how hard you guys have worked on this game and this launch, and we appreciate every little bit of it. Thank you. It's amazing, and we're just excited to play more. And don't forget, you guys, there is a TikTok now for Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. So literally, I think it's Play Wonderlands, or you can just look, Google, TikTok Play Wonderlands. You'll find it. It's awesome. There's a lot of really cute stuff on there. Also, Jessalyn has one. It's really, really amazing.
Yes, it is.
Also, if I could check out, they just launched a Tiny Tina filter. So if you go on TikTok, type in Tiny Tina Talk, she's going to tell you to grab your gear and get ready to head to the Wonderlands. It's super cute.
I'm actually going to show you what that looks like in just a little bit.
Oh, is that part of our magic moment this week?
Oh,
Oh,
awesome.
dang, I ruined it. I spoiled it. All right. That's on me. See, this is what I get for asking questions. I should not do that at all. We appreciate everybody. Everybody who came. Matt, thank you so much. Jess, thank you. Thank you so much. Tess, thank you for being an amazing host. You're the best. It's so much fun to come here and do this. As we do every, not single week, but every 2 weeks now, I think is our cadence probably going forward. But we'll talk more publicly about that as time goes on. And like I said, we appreciate you all. Thank you to 2K. Thank you, Gearbox. Thank you to the entire Next Makers team. And of course, all of you out there for trusting us to be your information and entertainment source for all things Wonderlands. We leave you as always this week with our weekly magic moment, which unfortunately I spoiled.
Wait, you haven't seen it yet. They haven't seen it yet.
Oh, that's true. I haven't quite spoiled it, but that's okay. Now get out there, everybody. Make your own fate.
Pack your things, tiki-talkies, we're going on an adventure. Gear, check. Hammer, check. Spells, check. Welcome to the Wonderlands, baby! Dragon Adventure, baby! Come get it! You see the walls of the mighty Bright Hoof. And a massive skeleton army! Catapults are assaulting the city! The sky is filled with arrows! And boulders! And bones! Evil is all around you!
Come on, let's kill these idiots!
Behold the horrid visage of the Banshee! Welcome to my Wonderland! And the dragon's like, wah! And you're all like, ah!